Well, it's been a couple days now, but liberals are still in full hysteria and panic over the thought that they might lose their monopoly on speech in this country since Elon Musk has bought Twitter. Harmeet Dillon has thought a lot about this, how to fix Twitter's free speech problem. She is one of this country's leading civil rights attorneys, CEO of the Center for American Liberty, and a frequent guest here. Harmeet Dillon, thanks for coming on. So this is it's actually, if you get into the details, pretty complicated. How exactly do you fix Twitter's free speech problem?
Well, first, Elon Musk has in its hands one of the most important, perhaps the most important free speech vehicles in the world right now. And so he has an opportunity to change the discourse in this country for the better. And I think there are a few simple things he can do. First of all, you got to move Twitter out of San Francisco and out of California altogether. One of the big problems in these big tech companies has been how they are overwhelmingly left-wing, and that is what you see in the bias in how these companies moderate speech and content. So if he moves it to Florida, to Texas, to frankly any place in America outside California, I think that would be a huge improvement. I've seen calls to fire employees. I wouldn't do that. I think that's, extreme and also has liability issues. But I think you could ask people to reapply for the position they want in the company and then see if they're willing to go along with some of these new policies that I'm talking about. I think one of the important things that Elon Musk needs to do is let back onto Twitter people who have been banned. And there are a lot of people, including clients of my firm. Rogan O'Hanley is currently suing Twitter. We also represent some meme meisters like Carpe Donktum and Megan Murphy, a feminist, a radical Canadian feminist who was kicked off of Twitter for so-called misgendering. All of these people, I think, bringing them back on would actually increase popularity and traffic on Twitter, which is what a business should want. And then I think, just going back to something very simple that we learn as children, to be honest and transparent. That has been tremendously lacking in Twitter. Twitter has lied about how it has put its finger on the scale about election interference until after the fact. Twitter is not transparent about its policies, its algorithms. Twitter is not transparent about how people are removed from the platform. And Twitter is not transparent, frankly, about who its users are. I think Elon Musk has talked about removing the bots from Twitter. I think that would tremendously improve the user experience. So there are a lot of complicated issues here, Tucker, and I'm sure he's getting advice from all over the place. And of course, I'm suing Twitter, so that is certainly a factor in what I have to say here. But I think if he wants to make a fresh start of this amazing company with tremendous value and potential for free speech, he can do all of these things. And the final thing I would say is continue to strike that blow for free speech that he's been doing on Twitter for the last few days. The United States government is coming for Elon Musk. They're coming with today's announcement of this disinformation panel that they're going to have to examine so-called disinformation governance panel. That is really the government trying to impose the censorship that Elon Musk is saying is no longer going to exist on Twitter. So I think we all need to stand together for that and have open and fresh conversations. I'm looking forward to being on Twitter for many years, hopefully, with the fresh leadership.
The panel you talked about is our lead for tomorrow's show, really one of the most brazen assaults on the First Amendment in this century. So quite amazing. Harmeet Dillon, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the Fox News YouTube channel to catch our nightly opens, stories that are changing the world and changing your life. From Tucker Carlson tonight.